It's like, look, all you got to do is shove in character customization and give them a sandbox to run around in.
I always talked about it as if it was like Disneyland for adults.
I was like, oh, you're gonna do my boy dirty like that?
Sorry.
It's interesting as well because I'm looking at these games now, and because how content is made these days, obviously you guys do a lot more content than I do. What was the term they called it? Transformative content, that's the one. So the way that comes through, I mean, if these games are going to be like content heavy, content rich from the get-go, I mean, that's going to be fantastic in the long run, especially if this is the base game. They're going back to how video games should have been made, and then they just add on top of that, and then it gives you the game a nice long lifespan, DLC characters, more story stuff, because I like the fact that Street Fighter 6, if there's one thing I've noticed, or two things I've noticed about video games these days, Elden Ring does it, Street Fighter Beta has done it, I'm trying to remember other games have done it as well, Hogwarts has done it as well. It's like, look, all you got to do is shove in character customization and give them a sandbox to run around in. And that game just sells like hotcakes. And I was just like, okay, so they put it in a fighting game. Tekken done that for years. Just let it rock, and people will post their goofy characters online, and they'll do all sorts, and then there'll be the competitive scene. So again,
free marketing, yeah,
exactly. And you know what? I await the day, because I know that NRS have done it in some games. I know they've done it in Injustice 2. I don't know if they've done it in MK11.
In MK11, they had the crypt, which they kind of made it like this. I really liked the crypt in Mortal Kombat 11, where they kind of made it like this, almost like a separate game. And I always talked about it as if it was like Disneyland for adults, where like in Disney, like if you go, there's like hidden Mickeys, there's like secret passageways, and there's like characters you can like talk to or interact with. Like it was very similar to that, and I loved that experience in the crypt. I remember when I would stream Mortal Kombat 11, like every day, like I would always either be in the crypt looking for skins, looking for secrets, trying to get into, I think there's this one, it's been a while since I've actually played it, but I think there's this one thing that you have to do in order to get into, like, I think it's Shang Tsung's like main area of the game, but like you have to do like, it's either brutalities or fatalities. Someone in the comments can correct me, but you have to collect the heads of each character on like the main roster, and it unlocks like this huge, really cool thing to get into like the Shang Tsung's like main thing. It's on his island ruins, but it's like this really extravagant like golden room or something that you can get to. But there's like the Kaiten hive where Devore is at. There's the iconic pit. You can see, I think it's Ermac actually, he like falls into the pit in one of the cutscenes and stuff in the game. And they used to have like events and stuff too. I don't know if they really have them nowadays other than Combat League. Whereas every so often each week they would have like these new skins if you reach different tiers of in ranked, or you know, it's like it's different characters and stuff too, like with different skins depending on how good or how high you get in rank and stuff, but you earn them like as you go in Combat League. And with Mortal Kombat 11 in the crypt, they kind of had like secret skins or like a gauntlet or a mask or something that you could get within there too. So other than towers, it was just another resource for you to kind of make your character look super cool.
As an Ermac and a Kenshi fan who both had very unceremonious deaths in the crypt.
Kenshi too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're gonna do my boy dirty like that?
Sorry.
Like you're just gonna toss him like he's just another corpse in the crypt. Okay, fine. Doesn't even get a cutscene. Doesn't even get a send off. You just throw him in the crypt. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the crypt was cool, and it's like it's clear that kind of maybe Capcom even looked at that and like we should do that, but like a lot bigger, because they're doing something like this big open sandbox thing, Metro City for Street Fighter 6, which looks really cool. Like I think Jam has said, it's like, you know, as something that's really, really popular nowadays is big open worlds and player customization, because that sort of just markets itself. Like, hey, check out my crazy, like insanely deformed, like, you know, abomination.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I've seen those.
I've seen a bunch of. I'll be real. I'll be real with you. That's one of the things actually I don't like about modern fighting games, because Street Fighter 6 has such a crisp, like, sort of contemporary, refined aesthetic to it. Like the soundtrack is like I really like, you know, it's so unified as well. Like for the first time, they've really gone for a real unified aesthetic. Maybe for the first time in the series since arguably Street Fighter 3. And then it's like you got this cool jazz music in the lobby, and you just see these like sort of, you know, these hunchbacks flapping along, and it just ruins everything. It's like, you know, that
place, goblins doing spinning bird kick on the rooftop. And it's like, why have you given them too much freedom?
Like, on the one hand, I think it's super fun. I had a lot of fun with it myself. On the other hand, it's like, on the other hand, I'm kind of split, I guess. On the other hand, it's like, you know, you've carefully cultivated this aesthetic, and now you just yeah, whatever.
Hey, everything needs a goofy element, as long as it doesn't fall down the Marvel universe, cinematic universe comedic value, where everything needs to have a quip at the end of it. Then, I think we're all right in that regard.
You know, I will say with Street Fighter 6, I appreciate that it's kept out of the game. You know, like when you're playing, like the characters look like how they're supposed to look, which is what I like. In Tekken, it can be so distracting to be fighting an opponent with, like, you know, like a friggin' penguin on their head, and then they got pineapples and, you know, grenades and all that kind of nonsense. And I think it really takes away from the overall visual presentation of the game, especially if they're going for like that unified aesthetic.
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed that. Now that chat was part of a much wider podcast between me, Hannah, and Jammers. It was super fun, we talked about a bunch of different things, and we'll be uploading those other parts soon. Cheers, have a great day, and catch you later.